Alright guys, welcome to my channel. See your own boy MC Bernardino. Thank you very much for always coming back to this channel. On today's episode, I have a lot of questions. I've received tons and tons of questions. People asking me, oh, is there any age limit as far as migrating to Canada through study permit? Oh, I'm 30, I'm 40. Can I still apply for my study permit? Will I be granted? Oh, I feel too old. Do you think I will be granted my study permit if I apply? On today's episode, I will be obliging you by answering that questions. Alright, so guys, you want to stay tuned and go on tight. Call your friends, call everybody you feel that actually needs an answer to this question, because I will be doing justice to it.
Shall we begin?
Let's begin now.
Alright, so are you new on this channel? Peradventure you just stumbled on the channel for the first time. This is Canada Immigration with MC Bernardino, where I basically dish out information as far as migrating to Canada. I've been in your show before. I've been out of Canada before. I came in at one point, studied in Canada, became a permanent resident, so I feel I should dish out information for free because I know it is very paramount. So if peradventure you're just coming for the first time, please kindly hit on the subscription button right below, and there's a notification bell right beside it. Click on it too, so that anytime I drop a video, you'll be among the first to enjoy, to see it. Alright, and if you feel you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, give it a like. Thank you. Alright, without further ado, what does the law say? What does IRCC immigration website says as far as in terms of requirement for those who are eligible to apply for study permit? Let's kick off with that. Alright, so now I'm on Canada Immigration website. I'll be linking the description in the description below the website, so we can actually know what does the rule says. So now study permits, who can apply? So these are the requirements. Let's see if there's really age restriction. Alright, so when we go to the eligibility requirement, you can study in Canada if you are enrolled at a designated learning institution. I already talked about that in my previous video. 2, prove you have enough money to pay your tuition fee, living expenses for yourself and any family member who comes with you to Canada, and return transportation for yourself and any family member who come with you to Canada. The next one, the third requirement, obey the law and no criminal record, and get a police certificate if required. The next requirement is are in good health and get medical exam if required. And the last requirement is prove to an officer, that's immigration officer, that you will leave Canada when your study permit expires. Okay people, you can agree with me that based on the information that I just gave you from the IRCC website on who can apply for study permit, there is no age restriction. So I can categorically tell you emphatically that there's no age restriction as far as applying for study permit is concerned. When I was studying in Noble College then, I remember there was a man in my class that was in his 50s, and he had a study permit to come and study for his postgraduate diploma. So, and also another example is when I was also in Noble College, and I remember somebody that had a bachelor's degree, she had a master's in the UK, and she applied for a postgraduate degree which was lower than master's, and she was still given study permit. So guys, I'm just here to just tell you that there is no age restriction as far as applying for study permit in Canada. Whatever your age, you're in your 20s, you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s, 50s, you can apply for study permit. There is no age restriction. So after doing much research on this, the advice I can give you, whatever your age is, what I can give you is, number one, you need to make sure that there is no gap. If there is a lot of gap in your previous study, what I'm saying is that, take for instance, your highest study initially was bachelor's. You have a bachelor's like 10 years ago or 15 years ago, okay? And now 10 years after the line, you want to apply to come and study in Canada. The gap is too much. That can be like a red flag. The immigration officer can see that as a red flag, and because of that, might kind of feel that maybe you actually don't want to come and study, or you have another ulterior motive of why you're coming into Canada. So if the gap in your previous study and the new one which you want to apply for in Canada is too much, take for instance anything from like 10 years and above, I feel that's a red flag. So you want to look into that. When the gap is so much, it might raise a red flag, and because of that, you might, I'm not saying you won't be given, you might not be given. So that's a red flag I would like you to work on. In addition to this, guys, I already said this in my last video. When you want to apply for your study permit, I always advise, make sure that there's a correlation between what you study initially and what you want to come and study in Canada. What do I mean by this? Take for instance, if you study civil engineering, you have a bachelor's in it back home from wherever you are coming from. If you want to come to Canada to come and study, make sure you choose courses that are in line with your previous study, I mean with your civil engineering that you studied back home or your previous work experience back home. Choose something that correlates, that is in good accordance with that, because you cannot study civil engineering back home and you want to come into Canada to come and study childcare. I mean, there is no relationship with that. So that's another red flag I want you to work on. As far as age limit, there is nothing like that. In addition to what I've told you guys, like I said, there is no age restriction. Well, another thing again you can do is, if you feel you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s, and you want to come and study in Canada, or you feel there's a little gap, maybe 5 years gap in your previous study, and now you want to come and study in Canada, what you can do again is to buttress to me to make your application more substantial is you need to write a very, very good explanatory letter of intent. I will be dropping a video very soon on letter of intent, how you can do it, and I'll be showing you example. So what do I mean by writing a very explanatory letter of intent? I mean, in the letter, you will include it in the document that you submit for your in the additional document that you submit for your study permit. In that letter, all you need to state is the reason why you want to come and study in Canada. You want to try as much as possible to explain the deficiency, the gap that you have in your previous study and the new one. I mean, you want to try to explain it. So it's just an opportunity for yourself, for you to express yourself, so that when the officer that is treating your file sees that, goes through that, he or she might be convinced on why he or she needs to give you that study permit visa for you to come and study in Canada. So that's something you want to carefully draft in order for you to convince the immigration officer, because that could be the jackpot. Okay guys, just to wrap up everything, just to summarize everything I've told you guys today, that there is no age restriction as far as applying for study permit in Canada. You have shown you the rules on the CIC website. The rules doesn't say there's any age restriction. All you have to do is that you need to do your own due diligence. Make sure that you put everything in place. Make sure that you don't have a lot of gap in your previous study and the new one. Make sure that you write a very explanatory letter of intent. Make sure that there's a correlation in the course that you studied back or previous job you have in the past and what you want to come and study in Canada. So whatever your age is, the opportunities are boundless. You can also come into Canada to come and apply. All right, so I hope I have answered some of you that asked me this question in the past. I have answered your question. If you feel you're not clear, there's anything I've said that you don't understand, feel free to drop it in the comment section down below. I try as much as possible to revert back. If you like this video, guys, please hit on the likes button. If you haven't subscribed and you're on this channel, please take some minutes, hit on the subscription button. There's a notification bell beside it. Click on it so that anytime I drop a video, you'll be among the first to get it. And for those of you that have shared my videos in the past, kudos to you guys. And also, you can likewise share this video to anybody that you feel might need it, anybody out there that you feel wants to migrate to Canada and is concerned about his or her age. Kindly share this video, it might be beneficial to them. Alright, so let me quickly run you guys through the think about the segment. We always drop it deep, you think about it, you act on it, and it always works for you. Alright, so I have this wonderful quote from Dara Torres, and he said, never put an age limit on your dreams. Never put an age limit on your dreams. Alright guys, I hope you actually understood that. It is very, very concise, it is straight to the point, and it's simply telling you that never put an age limit. So you want to come into Canada to come and study, never put an age limit to that. There is no age limit. All you have to do is just do your own research very well, do your own documentation very well, present yourself very well, do everything you need to do, guys. You might find yourself in Canada. I've told you in the past, when I was in school, I saw somebody that was in his 50s and he was in my class, he was studying with me. So there is no age restriction. So never put a limit on your dreams. Alright guys, it's been real. I've been keeping it real with you. I hope you understood everything I've told you today. If you have any question, any concern, feel free to drop it in the comment section below. Share this video guys, hit on the likes button guys. Till I come back to you guys with another wonderful, scintillating and informative video on immigration to Canada. Still your own boy, MC Bernardino guys. Stay out of crime.